What's up, everybody? Nico Dwyer back for the 10th inning here with another episode of This Day in Sports History. In yesterday's episode, we saw King Felix throw the most recent perfect game in MLB history. We don't have anything quite like that today, but we do have a couple of no-hitters to get into, some PGA championships to talk about, and some more Olympic Games. So if y'all enjoy this video, leave a like on it. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Let's get to it. This Day in Sports History. We'll start off today all the way back in 1743, and the champion of England title holder, Jack Broughton, would publish the Rules of the Ring, the earliest boxing code introduced, and the measures of those are still in effect today. We come back a little more recently now. In 1893, the first of our two no-hitters, Bill Hawk of the Baltimore Orioles would no-hit the Senators in a 5-0 win, and this would actually be the first no-hitter at the current structure of 60 feet, 6 inches. Hawk on the day, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks, 9 innings pitched. We move up to 1915, and the other no-hitter is here. Alex Maine would no-hit the Buffalo Blues in the Kansas City Packers 5-0 win, and Maine on the day, 9 innings pitched, 1 walk, plus 2 errors by the team. We get off of the no-hitters now, and we move to a little bit of somber news. In 1920, Ray Chapman, playing for the Cleveland Indians, would be hit in the head by Yankees pitcher Carl Mays by the pitch, and he would end up passing away less than 12 hours later in the hospital. Still, to this day, the only player who has passed away by being hit by a baseball. But now let's get that vibe back up. Move up to 1924, the U.S. National Championship. Defending champion Helen Wills Moody would defeat 7-time winner Mola Mallory 6-1, 6-3 in straight sets to claim her second of 19 Grand Slam single titles. 12 years later, we move up to the Berlin Olympics in 1936, and they would officially close with Germany coming in first place with 89 total medals, 33 gold, USA in second with 56 total, 24 gold, and Hungary in third with 16 total, 10 gold medals. Move up to 1954 now, and Sports Illustrated magazine would begin publishing in its very first issue, and the inaugural cover would feature Mark Kaufman pitching to the Braves slugger Eddie Matthews. It's safe to say that Sports Illustrated has worked out, as it's still one of the most popular sports magazines today. 5 years later, in the 1959 LPGA Western Open, Betsy Rawls, with a score of 5 over, would win her second Western Open, 6 strokes ahead of runners-up Joanne Gunderson and Patty Berg to claim her 5th of 8 majors. We stick with golf in 1970 at the PGA Championship. Dave Stockton would win his first of 2 PGA titles and his first of 2 majors, 2 strokes ahead of runners-up Bob Murphy and Arnold Palmer. We remain at the PGA Championship, this time in 1976, and Dave Stockton, with a score of 1 over, would claim his second PGA Championship and final of 2 majors, 1 stroke ahead of runners-up Raymond Floyd and Don January. We move up 5 years and we go to a world record in swimming. 1981, Mary Meter would break her own world record in the 100-meter butterfly at 57.93 seconds. She would end up holding this record until 1999, and at this point she would hold both the 100-meter and the 200-meter butterfly world record. Moved to 1992 at the Canadian Open on the women's side, Sherry Steinhauer, with a score of 11 under, would win her first of 2 majors, 3 strokes ahead of runner-up Judy Dickinson. Stay in 1992, this time at the PGA Championship, Nick Price, at 6 under, would win 3 strokes ahead of runners-up John Cook, Nick Faldo, Jim Gallagher, and Gene Sowers to win his first of 3 majors. Finally in 1992, Nigel Mansell would finish second in the Hungarian Grand Prix to clinch his first Formula One World Drivers' Championship. 4 years later, we have a historic first in Major League Baseball in 1996. Due to a conflict with the Republican National Convention being staged in San Diego, the first Major League game to be played outside of the United States or Canada would take place in Monterrey, Mexico. The Padres would end up defeating the Mets 15-10 on this day, and Fernando Valenzuela, a native of the Mexican city of Navajos, would open the 3-game series, would go 6 innings, and get the victory for the Padres. Move up 1 year to 1997, go over to rugby, and New Zealand would defeat Australia 36-24 to retain their Tri-Nations rugby title with an unbeaten record. Back to the PGA Championship in 1998, Vijay Singh, with a score of 9 under, would win 2 strokes ahead of runner-up Steve Stricker to win his first of 3 majors. Go back to the Tri-Nations Rugby Cup, and New Zealand would defeat Australia 21-17 to win their 5th Tri-Nations Rugby Series, with an undefeated 4-0 record. Also in 2003, Cristiano Ronaldo at age 18 would make his debut in the Premier League for Manchester United after he was a 60th minute substitution in a 4-0 victory over the Bolton Wanderers. Move up now to the 2004 Athens Olympics, and Australian swimmer Ian Thorpe would win the 200 meter freestyle in an Olympic record 1 minute 44.71 seconds, giving him the 200-400 meter freestyle double at those Olympics, and the Olympic record would stand until the Beijing Olympics. 3 years later in Major League Baseball, Jose Reyes, playing for the New York Mets, would become the first infielder and 10th player overall in the modern era, which is really post-1900, to steal 60 bases in 3 consecutive seasons. Reyes would end up stealing 78 bags in the season. But now we move up to the 2008 Olympics in Beijing, and there is a lot to get into, so let's start out at the 100 meter dash. And Jamaican sprinter Usain Bolt would set a world record of 9.69 seconds, a record that would be broken the next year at the Athletics World Championships by him. Then in swimming, British swimmer Rebecca Adlington would wrap up the 400-800 meter freestyle double with a world record 8 minutes 14.10 seconds in the 800, one that would stand for 5 years. Then in the women's 200 meter backstroke, Christy Coventry of Zimbabwe would swim a world record 2 minutes 5.24 seconds, and she would end up breaking her record the next year at the Athletics World Championship. Then in the men's 50 meter freestyle, Cesar Cielo Filho would win it in 21.3 seconds, becoming Brazil's first ever swimming Olympic gold medalist, and he would set an Olympic record. Finally, in the swimming category, American Michael Phelps would win his 7th of 8 gold medals at those games when he would take the 100 meter butterfly in an Olympic record 50.58 seconds, winning 0.01 seconds ahead of runner-up Milorad Kavic. Now we move to sailing, and British sailor Ben Ansell would convincingly win the Finn class to win his 3rd gold medal. Stay with the British, this time in cycling, and Bradley Williams would become the first ever rider to successfully defend his Olympic title in the individual pursuit. Then in the men's rowing coachless fours, the British team would win their 3rd straight Olympic gold. Then on the women's side in rowing, New Zealand Caroline and Georgina Evers-Swindle would successfully defend their 2004 Olympic title in the women's double sculls by defeating Germany by 0.01 seconds. Finally in those games, Romanian rower Georgeta Andrunache would be part of the winning women's coachless pairs team to win her 5th career gold medal and her 3rd consecutive gold in this event in the Olympics. Now we move up 1 year, and we have 2 separate events in 2009. First, at the World Athletics Championship, Usain Bolt would win the 100 meter dash in world record time of 9.58 seconds, a record that still stands today. Then at the PGA Championship, Yang Yun-un, with a score of 8 under, would win his first and only major title 3 strokes ahead of runner-up Tiger Woods. 6 years later at the PGA Championship in 2015, Jason Day, at 20 under, would set a major championship record of 20 under par, and he would defeat runner-up Jordan Spieth by 3 shots to claim his only major. Now we get into the Rio de Janeiro Olympics in 2016, and we have 3 separate events to talk about. First, in the discus, Croatian thrower Sandra Perkovic would retain her Olympic title at 69.21 meters. Then in canoeing, New Zealand canoeist Lisa Carrington would retain her K1 200 meter Olympic title in a time of 39.864 seconds. Finally, in the synchronized swimming duet, Russian pair Natalia Ishchenko and Svetlana Romashina would retain their title with a final score of 194.9910. We end today's video off in 2018 in golf, and Brandt Snedeker would shoot the 10th sub-60 round in PGA history with an 11 under par 59 in the opening round. So there you have it. That's what happened on this day in sports history. If I left anything out, I do apologize. But I'll see everybody tomorrow for Nick Wire and the 10th inning. See ya.